So the failure for France Bleu to win that one doesn't mean they've lost overall at the moment. And you have to watch out then for the riders representing France Bleu and France White. France Bleu should be number 2, Pommereau, and France White, if the list they've given us is also correct, then should be number 16, and that would be Tessier. So that's where the little needle match is going on, because after this course of point, the points race, we then go on to Kieran final, when they ride up in 2 finals. The ride up for 9th to 16th will be the first to Kieran's, and then the rider for 1st to 8th, and that'll be it. Then all the points added up, and they give the medals and prizes and pots and flowers away, and we can all go home. Now in the points competition, one rider representing each of the teams coming out onto the line now, and the 40 laps in all it is, 10 kilometres, that's 6 miles, which will take them about 13 minutes, 14 minutes, and there's going to be a sprint after 10 laps, and the points will be 4, 2 and 1, and then they double the points at the end of it all. So just leading off the front at the moment for Great Britain. And then he just peeled off a little bit back from there. Phil West, who's found himself a slot halfway through the field to get back in the action. Just to put you in the picture about what happened in the points competition so far in this series, we opened up on the first night with Risi of Switzerland taking the first spot and 20 points. The Slovak rider Zabka was into second with 17 points, and Gilmore third with 15. We'll have to wait for the bell to go before they go off. Some may try and lap the field, but I think the riders I've just been mentioning, people like Gilmore and Risi, will probably try and put the lid on things. It's their sort of speciality, and as I speak, so Gilmore starts to come up with the giddies to just make sure nobody gets carried away with things. Yes, he does. In fact, I think Risi's not riding now. It looks like his teammate. So they're starting to warm these things up here very quickly early on. Zabka, who was second on the opening night and won last night the points competition, so he's in fine form, riding then for the Slovak team. And he and Gilmore started to warm things up, and Scott McGrory, you see him looking over his shoulder and going up the top of the tractor, has recognised the danger if these two start to work together, wants some assistance, and looking back to see who's going to come up to him. But behind he's just got one of the German riders who's come across to him, and in fact it's Andreas Muller, I think it is, gone up to, but they've caught him. This is where the action comes, so they try to get away. Gilmore did with Lato. Nothing happened, and so it's all down then to the sprint coming up here. Well, I wouldn't want to say who was in first spot. I'll wait for the slow motion replay of that one, but certainly Germany looks as if, in fact, Aitken it was, went and just missed out onto the first spot. Yeah, he's just got there. So Muller grabbed that one then, and you can see the result then. The Aitken for the international team just couldn't get through Muller at that particular point, and that was the first of the sprints. More coming up then after this break.
Wireless internet access in the office. Compact Armada M series with Intel Pentium 3 processors.
The new high-performance Quattro from Black & Decker. With a 12-volt rechargeable battery, it can easily tackle drilling, sawing, sanding, and screwdriving. One cordless power tool, but 4 different functions. It could be all the power tools you need. The new high-performance cordless Quattro, only from Black & Decker.
What if everything was as strong and as durable as a Hyundai? A high-strength unibody construction makes every Hyundai as strong and as durable as the new Santa Fe. Hyundai, prepare to want one.
You rejoin us. The bell goes down there for the second of the sprints in this, the points competition, and at the end of it all they'll add up the points, and you see Gilmore then coming through here. The Belgians determined to try and move out the morass of the lower place riders, but more than anything I think as Gilmore goes just ahead 28, and then the Italian, and I think it looked like, yeah, he's still going on. Oh, this is a bit of a good turn up of the books. We're suddenly seeing a bit of activity down there, as launching himself out the pack then is Phil West, and so as Gilmore got ahead just then to get those points and moved on. I don't think that Phil's going to persist with this one. They're going to get him back. So Belgium, Holland, Italy was the order there, 4-2-1. I've heard, by the way, over our headphones during the break that we're going to have to gallop off air probably pretty quickly, and they're going to reverse, or they may be reversing the Kieran, so we see the 1-8, and you're going to miss the 8-16. I'm sure you won't mind that. You'll want to watch the hot shots then going through. Unfortunately, McLean didn't make the last 8 this time. He did last night and the night before, but Craig hasn't made it through, so you might miss out on that one. We'll try and get it over and done with. So we are coming towards the end of the proceeding. We still have another 20 minutes on air. Perhaps you'll excuse me if I slot in 1 or 2 things, because we won't be with you until December, and right across the Christmas break you'll be able to look back at the Tour de France, the Tour of Italy and the Tour of Spain. We're doing 1.5 hour highlight program of those. They're going to run right up over the Christmas period. They start, I think, on the 23rd or thereabouts. So over 6 consecutive days you get the 3 events recorded, voiced over and repeated again after that. So plenty of chance to look back at the major races on Eurosport before we get to the end of the year. And my thanks then for your support throughout the year, because we'll probably jump off a bit quick now. Won't have time to rattle to you when we're doing the voiceover for those programs end of December. Then of course in January off we go again, where the back end of January is going to be the World Cyclocross Championships, and then we're going to bring you, all being well, the Tour Down Under as well. So just time to pack my suntan lotion after Christmas and be seeing it from over the other side of the world. Thanks for the Christmas card already come in, by the way, from Billy up there. Billy Hudson in Dundonald in Belfast. He writes me regularly and sends me little letters and says, well, why don't I get time to reply? Billy, I've known you an awful long time now. I hope to try and send you a Christmas card. Thanks for the one. It's the first one I've had so far. Greetings from Dundonald. Nice little robin on the front of this one here. And a Merry Christmas to you all and a prosperous New Year. And thanks, Billy. Yeah, I'll try and get round to replying to some of your letters, but honestly, the massive post is unbelievable when I get back home. And when I came back from the World Championships in France, the Road Championship, I looked at my diary, and in 7.5 weeks I've had 48 hours at home. So bear with me if I don't get time to reply to your correspondence, because I have many things to do when I get back, apart from changing my underpants and socks. Right, 3 miles away at the moment. You see them on your screen there, and going round the track here for the third of the sprints. And well, I think the Dutchman probably got that one just about. Yes, they're working very well again, these two. With the world points champion in there, Llaneras at the moment. His trick, by the way, champion just peeling off the front and coming back around it, is to lap the field and then put himself in a position to win the points award. Now, he's trying to do it this time, but he has got a bit of company on this occasion. It's typical tactics of Llaneras. On that occasion, he finished second in the sprint, but I think he's more interested in driving this little break along now. That's his typical tactics. I don't know that they've got enough far to do it. Yes, they could just about do it. Nice way to end off the programme if they manage to do this one then, and to stay out there, because they're working very well indeed here, and the three riders still in the lead, and they're getting them in sight. So under the driving there, you can see that that's the position at the moment. Madsen actually has gone out there with that breakaway group, so that'll help him quite a bit. And also with him at the moment out there at the front, I think it's Zabka's gone there too. Yeah, so Madsen, Llaneras, Zabka. Well, 5 laps to go. Can they catch them? This would be a lovely way to end off the programme here, if they could probably do it then. And they've got to go some. We've got 4 laps to go then. Still Madsen at the front. Then Llaneras just chasing on behind him. And Zabka from Slovakia behind him. That's the order then. Llaneras, Zabka, Madsen, and a split between them and the main field. Is they can see them now. It's no more than about maybe 100 metres or just a bit less than that. Probably about 80 metres. They've got them in sight, but though down there I can see we've only got 3 laps to go here in Bordeaux. Centre, of course, that lovely wine. Celebrate at Christmas and have a drink from me. I've enjoyed the company all the way through. And by the way, I saw when I was at Manchester in the wine list at the Renaissance Hotel where I stayed, a little thing which said that, and the wine list said, quickly bring me a beaker of wine so I can wet my mind and say something clever. I think I'll put that on my grave one day. Quickly bring me a beaker of wine so I can wet my mind and say something clever. Oh well, here we go then. Bordeaux. 1 lap to go at the track. Know where they're going to catch the main field. When Llaneras does that, as he's been doing over the years to get the World Points Championships, he's going to get some good points here, but as it looks like Madsen's taken the maximum 8, Llaneras got 6, and the rider from Slovakia there into 3rd spot, collecting himself 4 points, Zabka. So it was 8, 6 and 4. Or sorry, 8, 4 and so. Get it right, David. Perhaps I should have a beaker of wine so I can wet my mind and say something clever. It's been a hard old day in the saddle today, and I think there's not going to be much change in the top 3 places, because the 2 French teams battling for overall honours were not there, nor were Germany. The lower teams just shopping the pack a bit with 16 teams. I hope we'll have time to update you on the position, but in reality it's just been France White, France Blue and Germany, and it could all be down to the Kirin, which will be coming up shortly. So that's the end of the points competition, waiting for confirmation of the team standings. Shouldn't have changed the overall situation, and there you'll see who actually won the thing. And Madsen got 20 points, Llaneras got 17 and Muller 15. So the situation looking back down there, the main teams battling for the top didn't manage to cause any big problems to the general order. I think they're going to have to wait then until we get to the runoff in the Kirin race. That will be coming up after this one.